Students stage overnight bridge blockade in anti-corruption protest in Serbia. The growing movement began following the collapse of a concrete canopy at the central train station in Novi Sad, killing 15 people. February 2, 2025 at 11:53 a.m. Greenwich Mean Time. Serbian students led an overnight Danube bridge blockade in the northern city of Novi Sad as part of their growing movement demanding major changes in the Balkan country. Dozens of farmers parked their tractors by the most Slobode or Freedom Bridge, saying they wanted to guard the students from incidents and potential attacks by sympathizers of Serbia's powerful president Aleksandar Vučić. Novi Sad residents brought the students, who spent the night in tents and sleeping bags in cold weather, tea and coffee, pancakes, pastry and cooked food. University students in Serbia are leading a massive anti-corruption movement that was triggered by the November 1 collapse of a concrete canopy at the central train station in Novi Sad, killing 15 people. The issue has come to symbolize a wider discontent over the rule of law in Serbia. "The only way to end this protest is that all our demands are met," said student Lucija Maslikovic. The students want a thorough investigation, publishing of all rail station renovation documents, and punishment for those responsible for the canopy collapse. Daily protests throughout Serbia pose a major challenge for Mr. Vučić. The student-led movement already forced the resignation of his ally, Prime Minister Milos Vučević, and the government earlier this week. Tightly controlled pro-government media have mostly ignored the protests, occasionally carrying fake news and photos that show empty streets and claiming the Novi Sad rally was a disaster because of what they said was low turnout. The state broadcaster RTS made a surprise exception on Saturday and carried live coverage of the protest in Novi Sad that was attended by tens of thousands. The ruling Serbian Progressive Party was quick to react, strongly condemning the scandalous coverage of the bridge blockades in Novi Sad. According to Mr. Vučić's party, state TV violated all the rules and values of objective and impartial journalism with its scandalous reports. The students stayed at one of the Novi Sad bridges through the night after blocking all 3 city bridges on Saturday. Tens of thousands of people joined in, swarming the streets in further pressure on the governing populists. "I support them fully. I can't believe how well they are organized, mature and good," said Jelena Đorđević, a university professor from Novi Sad. "They are just incredible." The student protest has struck a chord in graft-plagued Serbia, where few citizens feel that state institutions, which are firmly under populist control, are working in the public interest. Many believe the collapse was essentially caused by government corruption in a large infrastructure project with Chinese state companies. To pass the time on Saturday evening and overnight, the students played basketball and volleyball, listened to music or played chess or card games. In the morning they could be seen clearing their rubbish ahead of more protests. Hundreds had walked from Belgrade to Novi Sad for 2 days ahead of the blockades. At 11:52 p.m. on Saturday, the protesters held 15 minutes of silence for the 15 killed in the canopy collapse. 2 children were among the victims.